What's happening? What is happening? What's happening? Tariffs. Wow. Oh, salute to everybody, man. You said Canada pulled all American liquor today. That's fine, man. Justin Trudeau, man. You can see they're so the Democrats are so evil that it almost feels like anything Trump does is the right thing to do. Whatever he's doing is the right thing to do. It feels like that, man. They're so evil, man. They're so evil. They are evil. They are evil, man. You talk about some evil people. They some hateful, evil people. We're talking about some sour. They're starting to overplay their hand with all the negativity. They just feel like a negative, weird, a weird negative bunch, man. A bunch of weird negative people that are just weird. They still it's weird, man. That's the only word I can think of, man. Like when I think of them, I'm thinking like, yo, these people are weird. Even for a liberal, they every everything that's weird and strange and Yeah, cringe. Like, look at this, man. This guy says, my biggest takeaway from Trump's address is that the Democrats are completely broken. The optics could not have been worse. The Dems have been relegated to holding signs in the corner and pouting, while Trump cleans up the mess they created. They refuse to clap, even for the American citizens that Trump honored. They couldn't stand and clap for steel workers, farmers, the mothers of children who had been murdered, or the young man with brain cancer. But they were willing to clap for sending hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine. They showed that they are willing to put politics before the American people. This is apparent with their policies, but tonight we saw it play out in real time. It also didn't help the Dems that Trump called them all human traffickers to their faces in front of the entire nation, which is wild. I'm curious to see if the mainstream media address that or ignore it. We shall see. Trump and the Republicans appear to be competent, sane, goal-oriented, professional, and pro-American, while the Dems are incompetent, irrational, directionless, petulant, and anti-American. Tonight, the Dems proved to the entire world that they are an unserious group of people who are unfit to rule. We can never let them hold power ever again. This one said, if you can't stand up and cheer for a kid with brain cancer being made an honorary member of the Secret Service, then you might be a deeply disturbed and fucked up person. Yeah. All the people of color, all the fucking weirdos, all the people that don't know what gender they are, they're all Democrats. Every angry person of color that thinks that they're owed something is a Democrat. Every person who doesn't think they're a man or a woman is a Democrat.
With no end in sight, the United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense. With no security, with no anything. Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes. $2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that. With no end in sight, the United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense.
But I think this was a lesson in finding one thing that you let yourself feel. And I let myself feel joy about DJ. And I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one.
Yo, this woman is nuts. Yo, this woman is nuts. That's crazy inappropriate to say.
And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people. But I think this.
Wow, she is a wicked woman. These people are wicked. My God, she's wicked. Yo, they're scary wicked, yo. I ain't gonna lie, man. They're scary wicked, man. Their wickedness knows no bounds.
But you wanna know the craziest part? Because my mom bathes me and my brothers all together. And out of nowhere, I locked up, and then my dad was calling my name, and I started going to the slow thing, and he said, "Stop playing with me." And I started to act, I ain't gonna lie, I started to act slow, and then as soon as he said that, we was speeding all the way, running lights, going to the hospital, and then next thing you know, I was seizing on the table. They said, "No, we gonna have to go in his brain tonight." Ever since then, I had 13 brain surgeries, and that's how many times my personality has changed. And that's something that you don't hear from a terminally ill child. They had 5 months to live. I'm gonna keep on going until my gas tanks run out. And that's when God calls you home. You never know when God's gonna call you home. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. I know he's pretty proud of me, and I'm pretty proud of him too. And I'd like to thank President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today.
Wow. Wow. These are some hateful people. Jeez. Yeah, that kid. Salute to that kid, man. Brave little kid, man. Salute to Tom, man. Tom R, man. Shout out to Tom R, man. Salute to Steve K, man. Shout out to Steve K in the building, man. Yeah, Dems don't like him because he's a cop. That's true. That's crazy. That was
And
inappropriate.
once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
They're hateful. God damn. And they're wearing pink after yesterday. Yesterday they voted to keep men in sports. They voted against the Protect Women in Sports Act. To Protect Girls in Sports Act, they voted against it, all of them. But today they're wearing pink to protest Trump. They're all pro-Hamas, but they're wearing pink to protest Trump.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Wow.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Wow.
And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
And to think that whore bag, wretched slut whore bitch from MSNBC said what she said after that.
So I had to put my hat on because I approve of everything. I had to watch the full thing.
This ain't MAGA, this is FAGA. What the hell? FAGA. Hit the like button, man. Support the channel. PayPal, Cash, and super shit. We got a message from FAGA, y'all. Shout out to FAGA.
So I had to put my hat on because I approve of everything. I had to watch the full thing and not make videos during it because I didn't want to miss anything. I wanted to make sure that I had it down right. They didn't stand for Laken Riley. They didn't stand for that beautiful boy DJ with a brain tumor who everybody can agree is the most amazing story. They didn't stand up for any of the amazing stories. They didn't stand up when the 13 men and women that were pulled out of Afghanistan and lost their lives foolishly by the previous administration, they caught the guy with the help of Pakistan. They didn't stand for that. I'm actually convinced that Democrats literally do not give a flying fuck about anybody. They don't. And you can never get me back or sway me to ever be a Democrat in my life. They are literal trash. Literal trash. Donald Trump, you did an amazing job. Thank you so much. I am so excited for the future.
Big Larry in the building. Slide out to Big Larry, man.
So
salute to this message from Faga.
But I think this was a lesson in finding one thing that you let yourself feel. And I let myself feel joy about DJ. And I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people. But I think
Yo, she is a wicked whore bitch slut fag. She's a wicked whore bitch slut monster. I can't even go. you whore bitch slut monster. Yeah, they should apologize for that. They should apologize for MSNBC should apologize for that, man. Damn, that whore bitch slut monster is crazy, man. Wow, she is wicked.
Y'all, I fear somebody's got to do it and get it done quickly. Somebody's got to do it. And we need to set up a GoFundMe for whoever does it to make sure they have the absolute best commissary in there. Top-notch noodles. Top-notch deodorant and shampoo. And hypothetically, if you don't make it after you do it, your kids' will go to the top universities with that GoFundMe we'll set up for you. But somebody's got to do it and get it done quickly.
She got black privilege, though, man. She got black privilege, man. She got black privilege, man.
He's hearing all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. Let me just be real.
Why she curse so much? God damn. She's cursed more in the last week than any other congressperson I've seen in my life. This ratchet ass wannabe hood rat has cursed more times in the last week than all the congressmen combined in my entire life. And I'm not even joking.
He's hearing all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. Let me just be real. And we weren't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't. We showed up. And if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some.
Oh my God. Why is she such a ratchet? Why is she doing so much, man? Like, being unprofessional is not black. Somebody tell this raggedy hoe that being unprofessional isn't black, or is it? Maybe it is. Being unprofessional and uncouth and just out of pocket and out of line. Maybe it is being black, because she trying hard to be the black congresswoman for the black people. And that's how she acting.
Yeah, he's hearing all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. Let me just be real. And we weren't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't, you know. We showed up, and if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do for sure. We got some cool shirts. We got Madam Williams. Yeah, he's hearing all kinds of.
Happy birthday to Baila con Latinas. Happy birthday to Baila con Latinas. Happy birthday to Baila con Latinas. Happy birthday to you. These people are sick, yo. Bernie.
Security checks. Nobody who was 150 years old or 200 years old or 300 years old is receiving Social Security checks.
Right, because they're dead. But somebody's receiving it. The person that's still alive is receiving it, that's using their Social Security number.
Out of praising, for the record, and this is disgusting, the president made a spectacle out of praising a young man who thus far survived pediatric cancer, as if the president had something to do with that. This was in the midst of him praising Doge. The Doge cuts, among other things, have cut off funding for ongoing research into pediatric cancer. For the record,
Go ahead and cry, Rachel. Work with the kids in cages. Cry again, man. Like, hold back tears. Go hold back tears, man. Hold back tears, man. That worked last time, man.
Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her? A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. I don't know what we're doing. We should use it ourselves. And $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education. The most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about.
Shout out to J.H. Marvelous. He says, enough images for anti-Democrat commercials. Fuck them, yeah. Yeah.
Just listen to some of the appalling waste.
They may have
We have
overplayed
already-
their hand. They're so negative and evil, man. They're so evil and negative. And you got this ghetto hoe.
Who claim to be the president of the United States. So we are here. We are not going anywhere. We are going to continue to fight back, and we are going to continue to speak lies to his truth, to his stealing, and to his cheating. Thank you. You don't care about this country, and that is unacceptable if you claim to be the president of the United States. So we are here. We are not going anywhere. We are going to continue to fight back, and we are going to continue to speak lies to his truth.
Perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps. Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight. Thank you, Elon. He's working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe. They just don't want to admit that.
You know you.
Alexis, I promised that we would always remember your daughter, your magnificent daughter. And earlier tonight, I signed an order keeping my word to you. One thing I have learned about Jocelyn is that she loved animals so much. She loved nature. Across Galveston Bay, from where Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge, a pristine, peaceful, 34,000-acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America. Alexis, moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Alexis, I promised.
Uh-oh. They didn't roll out Bernie Sanders, did they?
And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 525. On a map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Hey everybody, it's Peggy D. How are you? I am at Trump Tower. We're here tonight and we just finished listening to President Trump's speech and it was like so magnificent. Me and my Patriot friends and everything. Let me tell you, didn't the Democrats show their asses tonight? What the hell is wrong with them? I don't know what's wrong with them. They have something's wrong with them. This was the most embarrassing. I mean, other countries are looking at us, and I know they have to be embarrassed. This was really embarrassing. I don't know if you don't like President Trump, but then you're embarrassing the whole damn country. Good night. Good night. We're leaving Trump Tower. I really, it's just horrible. It's horrible. And this cane walking Boulay, I'm glad they escorted him out. It's just really, really horrible, everyone. I don't know what's wrong with Democrats. They are just dumb. And they're not going to exist in the future because what they did was just horrible. Anyway, Peggy Dotson, we're at Trump Tower. Hey, everybody, say hey.
Wow.
And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
Salute to August West, man. Shout out to you, August West. Just thank you for all the content. Man, salute to you, man. Appreciate you, man.
To the results, what was your reaction to Trump's speech? 44% of speech watchers in our instant poll tonight say they had a very positive reaction to Trump's speech. 25% somewhat positive, 31% negative. To the results, what was your reaction to Trump's speech? 44% of speech watchers in our instant poll tonight say they had a very positive reaction to Trump's speech. 25% somewhat positive, 31% negative. To the result.
I don't trust them numbers, man. I don't trust those numbers. I don't trust them numbers, man.
All right, Donald Trump is lying to you. Here's the truth. It's simple. Tariffs are a tax on Americans. When you buy something, you pay the tariff, not some foreign country. Trump's tariffs will raise the price on things like tomatoes and prescription medicines, electronics, toys, and more. Grocery prices are rising because of Trump's tax. New car prices are rising because of Trump's tax. Beer prices are rising because of Trump's tax. And he has no plan for what happens next. He doesn't care about the farmer who relies on machinery from Canada to operate their farm, or the small business owner who needs supplies from Europe, or the parents who need to feed their families every day at a reasonable cost. While Trump is causing higher prices in Illinois, lowering the burden on working families is what we're all about. We've eliminated the grocery tax and raised the minimum wage.
Oh, God. He's the new Chris Christie, man. The new Chris Christie. It's a Jasmine Crockett. Oh shit. Oh man. Let's see what people on TikTok are saying, man. It's always fun to go to TikTok, man. It's always fun to go to TikTok, man. See what the TikTokers are saying. Let me drop the link, man, too, man. Let me drop the link. Drop the link, man. You will know. You will know. You will know. Oh, you know.
When Trump said tonight in his address to Congress that he wants every child in America to know that they are perfect just the way God created them and that they were never trapped in the wrong body was one of the reasons I voted for him to be president. Trump tonight highlighted real issues that affected real people and how his policy changes and executive orders either benefited them or will make sure that they're less likely to occur again. This address to Congress was about the people of America, about policy changes and how he wants to move America forward.
stock markets have fallen around the world after President Trump introduced.
That's fine.
It is the best way to get it across to a person who uses his incivility, against our civility. He is a person who has consistently been used incivility against civility.
Do you think it will in the House? Is that what you said?
Well, look, I'm willing to suffer whatever punishment is available to me. I didn't say to anyone, don't punish me. I said I'll accept the punishment, but it's worth it to let people know that there are some of us who are going to stand up against this president's desire to cut Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. And I'm also working on my articles of impeachment. This president is unfit. He should not hold the office. 34 felony convictions, 2 times impeached.
Sir, tell me one more time what you were shouting in the chamber.
That he has no mandate to cut Medicaid.
That's what you were saying over and
Yes.
over. Thank you, sir.
No.
What's going on, man?
What's up, Doc? How you doing?
All right, man. Everything's cool, man.
Yo, these people are
fucking
so
crazy ass center.
Take your seat, sir.
This nut.
Oh, I saw that.
Seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the sergeant at arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Your black ass out of there.
Yeah, for real.
That nigga got a tongue, man.
Members are direct.
Jasmine Crockett probably sitting there like, man, they removed the black man. They removed the black man from State of the Union speech today, man.
I bet.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House.
Black people can't do that, man. Him, Jasmine Crockett, all the black people showed their ass tonight. You always doing that. Always the ones showing our ass, man.
Yep.
Always fucking up. Can't just act civil.
Jesus Christ, man.
I have to get somebody told every time, man.
I'm telling you. It's just weird, man. We suck, man. Democrats, man. We got to be the fucking tip of the spear for every Democrat fucking dumbass policy. Shit is embarrassing, man.
Yo, you ever wish it was like how these black people say it was, where they can't, talk when a white man's talking, just so they would shut up? Just so they would shut up and stop embarrassing us.
Man. Bow your head and shit. Head down and shit.
I guess so, boss.
Wow.
Yo, for real.
With that goal in mind, we have developed in great detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which goes on sale very, very soon for $5 million.
Imagine the things she's not making that face about. Little kids getting their fucking dicks cut off and over you know what I'm saying, transgender bullshit.
Yeah.
She, you know what I'm saying, she's not making that face about that.
Nope.
That's what's the problem with this. Like, this woman, her worldview is completely evil. Yet she's sitting here like looking down on other people. And that's the problem with the Democratic Party. They're a bunch of evil people. Like, she's pro Hamas, She's pro-transgenders in women's sports, and yet she's like, Trump is like, she's like, yeah, let's wear pink tonight to protest Trump.
That's a woman.
Yeah, she's a rough looking white chick, man.
The jaw was square.
Yeah. Wow.
I'll never understand why women voted for men to be in women's sports, because it started because of women.
They voted 100%. All of the Democrats voted for it.
Yeah.
Every last one of them.
Yep. This started because of women.
It's insane, man. Women are stupid. That's why there shouldn't be a woman president, because they're stupid.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I
You know
agree
what I'm saying?
100%.
Women are dumb, man. Let's just keep it a buck, man. Let's just keep it a buck. Women are not fit to be like the president. Mayor, you can be a mayor, some shit like that.
Hell no.
Nah.
No power, period.
He said not even a mayor, damn.
You shouldn't even be able to vote.
And welcome to Hannity. And yes, we are live. We are in Washington, D.C., where only moments ago, President Trump wrapped up his first joint address to Congress of his second term. Coming up, we got a lot of reaction analysis from several people who were inside the chamber. Senator Ted Cruz will join us, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan, our Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and House Speaker Mike Johnson, and many other special guests. We'll also check in on our friends in the Democratic Party who continue to make just utter fools of themselves with their little props and disruptive outbursts and coordinated smears and even some vigorous cane waving. Take a look.
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country. Small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant at Arms to restore order to the joint session.
All right, a lot more on these antics in just a moment. While Democrats, they play stupid games with their performative stunts, President Trump is on the move. The nation saw that tonight in all of its force, if you will. In only 6 weeks, we have seen more action, more results from the Oval Office than almost anyone thought possible. Let's take a look.
I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. And we've ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our country. And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever. To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first term. And I have stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back. We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. And our country will be woke no longer. I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports. And in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it.
On top of all that, President Trump created DOGE to identify waste, fraud, abuse, corruption, now rampant inside our federal bureaucracy, including Social Security fraud. Take a look.
1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby. Including, to finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229, one person between the age of 240 and 249, and one person is listed at 360 years of age. More than 100 years older than our country. But we're going to find out where that money's going, and it's not going to be pretty.
And of course, the Bobby Kennedy joke, one of the big lines of the night. Of course, the Democrats in the room did not celebrate DOGE. In fact, they couldn't even bring themselves to stand and cheer for President Trump's pledge to remove taxes on tips and overtime and Social Security. Take a look.
Very, very big part of our plan. We had tremendous success in our first term with it. A very big part of our plan. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
Democrats tonight were so pathetic, they couldn't even stand for Laken Riley's family. Jocelyn Nungary, his mother, a slain officer's wife, Stephanie Diller. They couldn't even stand for a beautiful 13-year-old cancer survivor who dreams of being a police officer and tonight became a Secret Service agent, DJ Daniel. He said, "This is my 5th time at a joint address from President Trump. And sadly, there is nothing this president could do or say that would make these Democrats stand and cheer. This has now become a party of rage and hate, a radicalized party reduced to a collective temper tantrum, sitting on their hands, doing nothing for the American people. But tonight, this is also a defeated party. No solutions, no coherent message, no plan for the future, simply reduced to political stunts and smears and outright lies. And they were holding the little signs that read Save Medicaid, even though President Trump promised to protect it. Others held signs smearing Elon Musk. Congresswoman Tlaib brought her very own whiteboard. Paul Rove will be jealous, presumably so she could make it up as she goes along. But tonight's speech wasn't about the angry Democrats that have no vision for our country on the left side of the chamber. As a matter of fact, it wasn't even about politicians on either side of the aisle. As always, President Trump's speech was dedicated to you, the people that make this country great, the American people. Moments ago, the president highlighted the courage of one brave young man from Texas. This was quite a moment. Take a look.
Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer. But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago. Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
How great was that?
Wow. Wow.
That was cool.
Yeah, I mean, positive, man, hopeful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
These motherfuckers, though, look at this dude.
The president, in his, what we believe was ad-libbing, we did not have prepared remarks from the president, which is unusual. White Houses usually distribute prepared remarks, so we don't know what was digression from those remarks and what was ad-lib. But the president did repeatedly seem to be ad-libbing when he was remarking on the expected impact of the economic decisions he's already made 6 weeks in, saying that the American people would have to bear with him, that there would be a little disturbance, that there would be an adjustment period. And again, he said a little disturbance, essentially suggesting that the roiling that we saw in the markets is something that he knows he caused, but he hopes people will not mind. For the record, the worst inflation in this country was in 1980. For the record, the economy that he was left by President Biden was not a catastrophe. It was literally the best economy in the world.
It wasn't a catastrophe. They're bragging. It wasn't a catastrophe. And it was the best economy in the world. Yeah, because America has the best economy in the world all the time. America has the number one economy in the world, but it was the worst. It was one of the worst America has ever had. You see the sleight of tongue or sleight of hand.
Expected impact of the economic decisions he's already made 6 weeks in, saying that the American people would have to bear with him, that there would be a little disturbance, that there would be an adjustment period. And again, he said a little disturbance, essentially suggesting that the roiling that we saw in the markets is something that he knows he caused, but he hopes people will not mind. For the record, the worst inflation in this country was in 1980. For the record, the economy that he was left by President Biden was not a catastrophe. It was literally the best economy in the world. It was described by The Economist magazine as the envy of the world. That was the economy that was left to Donald Trump by Joe Biden. For the record, Social Security is not paying benefits in large numbers to 300-year-old people or 250-year-old people or 200-year-old people or 150-year-old people. In fact, the idea of Social Security as a bastion of massive fraud and overpayment is completely false. For the record, U.S. auto company CEOs are not psyched and delighted and so excited about President Trump's economic policies, including his tariffs. Take, for example, the CEO of Ford, Jim Farley.
Jesus Christ, she's just a negative Debbie Downer.
Just lie after lie.
Yep.
Wow.
Yo, did you notice all gliders on the camera?
Yeah.
With Trump, yeah, I'm not even mad about it.
Right. I mean,
Okay.
blacks are like what 90% of the women and 80% of the men are Democrats.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna find too many. There's nothing left. There's very little left to even support the Republican Party. Like shit. They're all over there.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what
That was the capital city of Albany, New York. Today, March 4th, part of the March 4th for Democracy demonstrations that happened all over the country. There were protests and demonstrations planned in all 50 states. This has turned out to be another one of those days of nationwide protests. Lots of the protests today were at state houses, at state capitol buildings, and also in major cities. All ahead of the president's address to Congress tonight. We saw protesters gathered today in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and in Annapolis, Maryland, and Hartford, Connecticut, and in St. Paul, Minnesota. And St. Paul, you saw there another entry in the very popular pet protest movement, Dogs Against Doge. It's only because of that movement that we don't call that fake government agency Doggy. In Raleigh, North Carolina, they had a protest picnic. People brought blankets and sat on the lawn in front of the State House, which is a nice concept.
Bunch of
More
losers.
protests in Salem, Oregon today, and in Phoenix, Arizona today. Salt Lake City, Utah, Punta Gorda, Florida saw protests today. There was a sizable, peaceful protest outside the headquarters of the Fox News Channel in Midtown Manhattan this afternoon. Our MSNBC headquarters is right near that, and I have seen my share of protests at Fox News over the years. I have never seen one this size. Today at Fox headquarters, it was a mix of people rallying against Trump and people also rallying specifically in support of Ukraine.
This shit is small time, man. This is all. Half of these people are paid protesters. This is just their base, just dumbass Democrats out here. They're trying to make it seem like this is indicative of America. That it's just protest everywhere. No, this is a bunch of fucking demon ass
Losers.
Yeah, losers. Exactly. Everywhere there's protest. There's protest everywhere. The sky is falling.
Ukraine. People protested in Washington, D.C. today, including on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, and also down the street outside the office of the Office of Personnel Management, where people were rallying to, quote, evict Doge from OPM. OPM is, of course, the office in the White House that has been used by the president's top campaign donor as a sort of base of operations and proving ground for Trump's mass indiscriminate firings of government workers and his attempts to shut down by fiat whole agencies created and funded by law.
They hate Elon, man. Yeah,
They just hate.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they just hate, period.
Jeez. Some weirdos, man. They're all weird. Like, she's like a fucking dyke and shit. All fucking weird, man. Every last one of them.
Joining us now from Washington is our own Jacob Soboroff, who tonight is going to be watching the president's speech with 4 of the people who have been fired from their jobs working for the U.S. government. Jacob, this is a very interesting concept that you are pursuing tonight. Tell us about it and tell us about the folks you're going to be watching.
What's up?
I'm just laughing at the idea of these 4 fired, unemployed people sitting like, it's just ridiculous.
Watching with.
Rachel, good to see you. And I'm so glad to be here in Washington, D.C., because it is the beating heart of the United States civil service. And with tens of thousands of people being fired from their jobs, unfortunately, it was not very hard to find people from all across the United States government who wanted to come here to talk to us tonight, to watch the speech with us tonight. And in fact, far more people wanted to join us than could fit into this small studio here at the MSNBC studios in Washington, D.C. I want to introduce you to them, and we'll hear a little bit from them ahead of the speech, and then we'll talk to them as well after. Counterclockwise, from bottom right, we have Nigella Nakuna, who was fired from the U.S. Digital Service. They're all, by the way, in a remarkably good mood after having been fired from the federal government. I'm so grateful for.
Yeah, that severance package, man. They got taken care of. They're gonna find another fucking job, bitch. Go do hair or some shit. Like, what do black chicks do when they unemployed? Go do hair or fucking watch somebody kids or some shit. Whatever the fuck y'all do.
They don't mention that part. They're getting a nice check.
Yeah.
A severance check, you know? It's like
It's 8 months, right?
Exactly. 8 months of severance pay, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you balling.
For real. Like, they complaining.
You got your whole shit at one time. You balling, man. You go ahead and ball. Take a trip somewhere. Go back to Africa, man.
You know, Elon asked these guys, to list 5 things that they did, and
Yeah,
they
man,
couldn't list
yeah.
one thing.
They got upset, man. They don't want to have to even. Wow. Oh, Jimmy Kimmel. Whoa.
Hello, Americans. I'm Jimmy. I'm the host of Thank You for
Clown.
Watching. Thank you for joining us here at our headquarters in Hollywood, where a lot of the country watched a very special episode of The White POTUS tonight. It was a night of pomposity and circumstance as Donald Trump addressed a joint session of Congress because, he rarely gets to be on TV, so why not? And so anytime this maniac speaks, it is a joint session. It's a joint session. It's an edible session. It's a raid the medicine cabinet for anything to dull the pain kind of night. And tonight was no exception. His speech started late, and I guess they were waiting for that last coat of shellac to dry on his face, but the reviews are in, and guess what? He did great, according to Fox News anyway. Mostly English-sounding words, semi-coherently strung together without any visible on-air defecation, a masterpiece. Sean Hannity really has a way with words. But this is the 5th time Trump has addressed Congress, and he got
pathetic.
quite an introduction from the Sergeant-at-Arms.
Mr. Speaker, members of Congress, please welcome Diaper Donnie, Man Boom Mussolini, Captain Bone Spurs, Mar-a-Lardo, the notorious P.I.G., General von Schützenpants, Putin's Boy Puckett, His Flatulency, the President of the United States, Donald Jellybelly Trump.
Yeah, there you see. Members of the Trump family were there. Eric was there. Laura, Don Jr., Jared, Ivanka, even Melania showed up. So the Democrats weren't the only people who hate him there. Trump went into the speech tonight with a negative approval rating, which is rare for a new president. According to a new poll from CNN, 52% of Americans do not approve of the way Trump is handling his job as president. The other 48% responded in Russian, so we don't know exactly what they think. It is kind of, I don't know if you saw this, but kind of a funny poll. 90% of Democrats disapprove of Trump. 90% of Republicans approve. First of all, who are these crazy 10% of Democrats who approve of what he's doing? And who are these crazy 90% of Republicans who approve of what he's doing? And why is this?
Jesus Christ. Haters.
Just a bunch of miserable people.
Yeah, man.
Look at what's happening. The Democrats are not even acknowledging the cabinet right now. I just don't remember that being standard. At least they would get up and shake their hands.
Just the visual here that
they're not engaging. This is not a pathway forward to bipartisanship.
Wow. They going hard. They're not even shaking their hands. They're not even doing the formal, like this, the regular, shit for optics. They're like, fuck y'all. It's war. But they're hardliners, so you got to give them credit on that. They are hardliners. They taking a hard line, Jack. Jeez. Man. Oh, there's a mass shooting, man. They say Severn. Is that Maryland? I think that is Maryland. That is Maryland. Severn. Oh, that's Severna, Maryland. Let's see. Damn. Well, let's see this.
How great was that? Joining us now with reaction, he is the Speaker of the House. He was standing for a big part of the night behind the president. Mike Johnson is with us. America's back. America's golden age is here. The American dream is unstoppable. and a pretty amazing night. I would argue probably Donald Trump's best speech.
I loved it, Sean. It was not a speech for the mainstream media. It was a speech for the American people. And I'm sure it was received as well at home as it was there by the Republicans and the audience up in the gallery. It was really shameful what the Democrats did. I mean, they really, it was quite a spectacle. They brought shame on themselves and their party. But the American people are following what the president is delivering, and they are appreciating it. And we certainly did tonight in the chamber.
Salute the Will, man. He says the Hitler fascists gave a little black cancer boy his dream. Make that make sense? Oh man,
I think you'd be surprised the color of the allies of Hitler.
Yeah, these people are weird, man. They this whole Hitler talk, man. It's a hard
point
line.
taken.
I'll give it to them, man. I'll give it to them, man. That's a hard line. Call them Hitler. They take a hard line with everything. Tonight, I think it kind of like it was off-putting though. Usually it works well, but tonight it was just like, yo, it's so negative.
Well, they actually they shifted to Mussolini. They called him something Mussolini.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
in that joke at least.
Mussolini.
Later found two other. Well, police just wrapped up a press conference here just a few minutes ago. Like, as you said, we had 2 dead, we have 2 injured, and police say that the shooting happened near a basketball court that's surrounded by several homes. I want you
Midnight basketball.
Who you think did this, man? Who did this, man?
Gliders.
Gliders, yeah, man. Caitlin Clark, man. Gliders are taking over basketball.
Yeah, gliders play basketball too.
Yeah, man.
And police say that the shooting happened near a basketball court that's surrounded by several homes. I want you all to take a look at this video that we shot shortly after that shooting happened. This is off Mead Village Road. Here's what we know so far. So around 7:02, police say that they got multiple calls of shots fired in that area. And when they got there, they found 2 male victims, a 23-year-old and a 28-year-old. Officers say that those 2 later died from their injuries. Police say that they later found 2 other men who were also injured. They're expected to be okay. We're told that they're non-life-threatening injuries. But police say that there was a basketball game going on at the time of the shooting, but they haven't said yet what they think may have led to the actual shooting. They do, though, think that this whole thing is targeted. Now, as for what led to the shooting, all of that is still under investigation. There was a really chaotic scene out there. In fact, that's how officials actually described it, a chaotic scene. Police cars everywhere, neighbors outside trying to figure out what's going on. Back out here live, police are asking anyone with any information to give them a call. One thing they also said is that they have members of their crisis intervention team out there too, talking to people who may have heard or seen anything. Again, they're asking anyone who may know anything to give them a call. Now, we're going to work to get more information on this, or we're going to have a little bit more from police.
Crisis intervention team.
The crisis intervention team. Hey, they'll crack the case.
They'll get to the bottom
Later
of
found
it.
2.
And you imagine how much overworked that crisis intervention team is in Baltimore. And shit.
I actually noticed.
Probably getting a piece. They're whatever's going on, they gonna get their cut.
I noticed a group of these intervention people. There were 4 of them walking down the street. I think they feel more comfortable in large numbers.
Oh yeah.
Live from WJZ, this is breaking news.
And that breaking news right now, 2 people are dead, 2 others in the hospital after a shooting in Severn late tonight. Welcome to the news at 11, everyone. I'm Rick Ritter. Thanks for staying with us after President Trump's joint address to Congress, which we're going to have much more on the president's speech coming up a little bit later on in this newscast. But first, 2 developing stories here at home that we are following closely. One in Baltimore County as the search for a suspect continues tonight after a 16-year-old student was shot and killed right near Lansdowne High School. But let's begin with that shooting in Anne Arundel County. Kelsey Kushner on your corner in Severn with the latest there.
Police say tonight that there was a basketball game going on when gunfire erupted. 2 adult men were shot and killed, while 2 others are now recovering in the hospital. Police say this all happened after 7 o'clock Tuesday night. Shots fired along Meade Road. Police say when officers arrived on scene, they found multiple victims shot by the basketball court and a cul-de-sac in the neighborhood. A 23-year-old man and a 28-year-old, both pronounced dead. 2 other victims, one found in the neighborhood, another found in a nearby car, were transported to the hospital with non-fatal injuries. Tonight, police called this a difficult scene. They say they believe the incident was targeted, and they called on their crisis management team to assist neighbors and families with the trauma related to the shooting.
When you pull up to scenes like this, some of the first people you see are children, or you hear family members crying, and so that has an impact on the first responding officers. So we understand as best as we can the trauma that the family members are going through. Children, trying to live in a peaceful community, and they hear gunshots and gunfire, and then see police and fire responding. So it is very traumatic for the community.
Police say
children in a community, and there's a bunch of adults at the playground, a bunch of grown-ass men at the playground. Think about that. There's a bunch of grown-ass men at the playground shooting each other.
Yep. And you know what? It's crazy. It's because I'm like 90% sure that it was over basketball. It's not like some shit going on the side. They were arguing over a basketball, over a foul or something like that, and it turned into a shootout.
Yeah, some stupid shit. Grown-ass men at a playground. Where the fuck? This remind me of I seen this video the other day, man.
Hey, if there's one thing that sons love, it's arguing on the basketball court.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very, very, very dangerous. Tempers get high.
Ladies and gentlemen, anybody want to tell me just what in the hood notifications is going on here? This is a gas station / like a little corner store situation, and you see these individuals standing around not doing nothing. This right here, let me just be frank with you, this right here is a sign that ain't nothing good going on. Anytime you see men standing around in the middle of the day, that is never good news. I don't care what nobody say. And I didn't say black men, I just said men. Anytime you go someplace and men don't have nothing to do, that is a problem. That's a problem. You go to a store. When I go to a store, I don't want to see nobody standing outside. I want to see everybody inside making purchases. Expect like if you go to a store and there's people just standing around and the person who owns the store don't have no issue with that, yeah, get the hell on. I don't care if my e-light been on for 45 minutes. I'm not stopping at this gas station. You can call me scared. Call me, oh, you scared to come to the hood? Yes. Grew up in the hood, born and raised, and nope.
Gears here, a Bartlett woman makes a bizarre, gruesome.
Niggas, man.
I could appreciate the conviction with which he said yes.
Yeah,
ladies and
gentlemen, he nailed it. Yes.
Live from WJZ, this is
responding. So it is very traumatic for the community.
Yeah, man. So then you got a 16-year-old murdered too over here.
Is breaking news.
Now at 6, we are continuing to follow that breaking news tonight. We're learning a 16-year-old young man was shot and killed near Lansdowne High School this afternoon. Hello, everybody. I'm Denise Koch, and welcome to WJZ's All Local News at 6. Police say the victim was in front of a liquor store across the street from the school when a suspect jumped out of a car and started shooting. WJZ has been following this story all evening, all afternoon. We have live team coverage right now. We're going to begin with Tara Lynch at the scene. Tara.
Well, Denise, we know that this happened just after 2 o'clock after dismissal at Lansdowne High School. We know that that 16-year-old victim is dead. That person was shot several times outside of not only that liquor store, but after a brief pursuit across Hollands Ferry Road, the victim ended up on the Lansdowne High School property. That is where the suspect then shot the victim several more times. Police rendered aid and was able to transport that victim to the hospital where he later died. Right now, police are still looking for that suspect. They don't have a full description of that person, but I was just talking with Chief McCullough, who tells me that there should be some good news coming out here soon with this investigation. We will, of course, keep an eye on that. But we did hear from him earlier.
These are cold-blooded murders, man. Like it's amazing how many cold-blooded homicides happen in fucking Pakistan every day.
Were blocked off. There were choppers circling above. Take a listen to what one neighbor had to say.
We've been walking for an hour and a half now. And I mean, I just knew it was something because I was like, why is the helicopter just hovering over above? And then there was a lady said that it took her forever to get past. She said they had all the Lansdowne closed. She was like up there at the shopping center where that tobacco store is. I was like, oh my God, that's Speedy Mart. I was like, oh my God. Next thing you know, phones was lit up. And I'm just like, oh my God, we need to get home, but we're walking.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Damn. That's crazy. Yeah, so then, whew.
Portland police are investigating 3 deadly shootings that happened within the last 24 hours. Officers responded to the first 2 crime scenes at around 11 o'clock last night and a third this afternoon. Fox 12's Leslie Dominic spoke with family members of one victim. She joins us now live from North Portland.
This city has 6% black people, or 7 now, 7%. Let's say 7%. Both news anchors are black, and I guarantee you all 3 of these fucking shooters are black.
Yeah, you might think this is fucking Atlanta.
Portland. Jesus Christ. Black people, boy, it don't take much, man.
Night and a third this afternoon. Fox 12's Leslie Dominic spoke with family members of one victim. She joins us now live from North Portland.
Yes, Riel, that is 3 deadly shootings within a span of 24 hours. We actually spoke to the family of one of the victims who died here on North Williams Avenue. They left this memorial you see here on your screen in honor of him.
Yeah, that grocery store in that video did say grocery store. That is true. I did peep that. Salute to you, man. Salute to Will, man. Will in the building, man. Make sure you take the $7 challenge, support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat.
You know, they could make a TV show about you owning a store like that in the hood. All the shit you'd have to deal with.
Oh my God.
Hours. We actually spoke to the family of one of the victims who died here on North Williams Avenue. They left this memorial you see here on your screen.
What do you think the family of the victim is? What do you think the race of this victim is?
Probably glider.
Why? Because the balloons look neat, and the candles.
Facades off.
This should not have happened. Not at all. Not at all.
That's a sister.
Flowers, candles, and balloons lined a location on North Williams Avenue where a father of one was shot and killed. Officers responded to the scene around 11:30 Monday night. When they arrived, the victim was already dead. This is one of 3 deadly shootings in Portland within a 24-hour span. The first crime scene police responded to was on Northeast Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard near Columbia.
Well, I mean, it's clearly a son now. First, I was going to say Brito, but no.
Jesus Christ. The tropes, the stereotypes. Sons got to
Undefeated.
stop about, stereotypes are undefeated when it comes to sons. We are the walking stereotype, an embodiment of the stereotype.
Columbia Boulevard. Officers arrived just after 11 p.m., only minutes before the North Williams shooting. A male victim suffered from gunshot wounds and died in an area hospital. And at 1:15 p.m. on Tuesday, a third shooting response, this time on Northeast MLK and North Gertz Road,
Jesus
not too
Christ.
far from an Amazon.
Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ, man. So that's the problem spot in Portland, MLK. Oh, I wonder what the demographics are over there, man.
Amazon Fulfillment Center, a woman's body was found. These back-to-back homicides come after the city reported a decrease in deadly shootings since 2022. But this crime scene tape and this memorial, organized by a grieving family,
He had a sense of humor, a kind heart.
indicate that there is still
He was the greatest person to ever walk the face of the earth. He was basically Jesus in Air Force One.
They actually say that though. They say things like he would do anything for anybody.
Right. Jeez.
work to be done.
He came over one time and we took a picture by the Christmas tree.
Okay, so this is the daughter, the biracial daughter. Because it's Portland. A lot of them dudes having children with white women.
By the Christmas tree. He loves me, I love him.
Dang. That's bad, man.
And despite speaking with one of the victims' families tonight, we will not identify him. The Portland Police Bureau has not yet identified any of the victims. They are still investigating all three cases. Reporting
So that's another
North
context clue.
Leslie-
All the homicides are unsolved. That's another context clue, man.
We begin with the crime alert. Right now, police are searching for suspects in 3 separate deadly shootings, 2 in North Portland, 1 in North.
Yeah, Oh, let's see if there's any update, in this situation.
Has been affected by the senseless gun violence. The Fort Worth is committed to stopping gun violence. And we have shown that time in and time out. But in order...
Didn't they say they have a suspect?
Stand up and help us prevent these types of gun violence.
Oh, God, this motherfucker got a lisp and shit. I don't know.
Make no mistakes that we're working hard every single day. In order to stop this gun violence, we must say something when we know something. If you have any knowledge of what happened on yesterday and you have not said anything yet, if you were aware that the takedown was going to take place prior to it happening, you are not only part of the problem, but you are the problem. And we...
I don't see how anybody trusts these homosexuals.
Yeah, it's Texas though. That motherfucker might get out. I'm not snitching on nobody in Texas, man. That motherfucker might get out. Y'all probably let the motherfucker out on bond and shit.
The Texas Rangers and Forest Hill Police are working on leads connected to the deadly shooting at a car wash. It took the lives of a local rapper and his 5-year-old daughter. Those close to the family are now speaking out, telling our Aaron Jones the gun violence must stop.
Kedrick Wilson first met Chucky Smith about 10 years ago.
Chucky was an up-and-coming artist, and I was an up-and-coming DJ at the time.
They bonded over their love of rap music. Wilson, known as Mr. Hit That, is a local DJ on K104.5 FM. He featured Smith, known as Little Ronnie, on his show and became his booking manager.
He had great music on there. He had a few hits with other artists. He just recently went on tour with Soulja Boy, and that was like a 40-city tour.
But Wilson says his friend's most important job was being a dad.
Got my little Valentine's with me today. He didn't miss the dads and donuts. He didn't miss the when you go into the school and get to read to the kindergarten. So it was a beautiful thing.
Wow.
He says on Sunday, Smith celebrated his daughter's 5th birthday. The next day, they were killed in a shooting at Slappy's Car Wash in Forest Hill just before 11 a.m.
He was being a father in the midst of his tragic death, his tragic passing. He was being a father. So it's like, it's crazy.
Do you think he was targeted?
Most definitely. Being a rapper is one of the most dangerous things in the world.
Forest Hill police
Oh,
say
really?
authorities have identified 2 suspects, and one of the suspects has a capital murder warrant out for their arrest.
And growing up in the inner city, you see death a lot. It sucks to say it, but it's normal.
Wilson says the gun violence has to stop, something echoed by local community leaders and stakeholders Tuesday afternoon.
We must work together to break the cycle of self-hatred.
Look at how much of the community came out for this.
Yeah, he's got to be killed by a cop. It's got to be a white cop. White cops.
Oh, I'm telling you, man. We're a sad bunch, man. Hold it down for a second. I got to get some water.
Damn children of the universe. It's insane. You know, I'll be thinking about all these homosexuals that are in the bureaucracy, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, I see why Juice Crew wants them so bad, because they don't give a shit. They will sell out the country, and New York men won't care about nothing. It's like they should definitely be a threat to the United States.
Yeah, the homosexual agenda is pretty sinister.
I mean, yeah, it is, because it's like there's no limit. There's no limit to what they got to do. It's like the only thing that they really care about is power. It's like they are the perfect. I was thinking about this one day. I was like, because it's kind of history repeating itself. Same thing in Russia, same thing in China, hell, the same thing in Cambodia. But the biggest difference that these leftist Marxists, what they have or what they don't have the military experience. They don't have the military training. That the masculinity is completely gone from them. So, you know what I'm saying, they got nothing. Only thing they can do is sit here and tell on you and wag their finger. You know, maybe they'll have the authority to, say that, thumbs up and thumbs down on who gets death and not. Maybe that's the true end game. But as far as force, nah, they don't got it. So, yeah, they really messed
Well,
up.
yeah, all they need is a pistol.
Yeah, that's what they would need, is a pistol. But
Well, I'm just thinking about the Lenin period in the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
I think it was a lot of just kind of weak, effeminate, maybe you could say, men running around just killing people, just bringing them down in the basement and shooting them.
Oh, so you think that they were still weak and effeminate? They were just overpowering them, or you think the victims were just kind of weak? Because
Well,
that's
just
kind
the
of how they
image.
portray.
The image of the political commissar, I could see it being a person like that.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, the way that they just kind of marched off the Russian whites and just kind of killed them primarily without even using handguns, because they wanted to save ammo. Kind of seems like, I don't know, I guess it's almost like that Christianity
thing. So you said they got somebody with a capital warrant for this, right? Oh, wow. Look, this is the same city. This is the same city where this rapper got killed.
Well, police say a stray bullet killed a mother of 2 and injured another person who were sitting in the backyard. Forest Hill police say this happened Saturday night, just around 7:15.
NBC5 Sophia Beausoleil spoke with the victim's family as police continue their search for the shooter.
She was an amazing mother.
Damn. You know a nigga fired that bullet too. You know a nigga fired that fucking gun. Woman just sitting in her backyard gets shot by a stray bullet. Jeez.
Mother, an amazing sister. She was very hands-on.
Selfless, caring, nurturing, dedicated, and hardworking is how family members describe 36-year-old Maricela Trujillo, a wife, mother, daughter, sister, aunt, and friend who also loved her two dogs, Teddy and Bella.
I just can't accept the way that she had to leave wasn't not fair.
Jessica Casas says Maricela, who went by Mary, was her aunt.
Jesus Christ. Wherever the fuck did you say? God damn. Dios míos.
Jessica Casas says Maricela, who went by Mary, was her aunt, and they talked all the time, including on Saturday.
Receiving that phone call yesterday and then having her call me to tell me happy birthday and having to receive that call here at night, I didn't think my day was going to end like that.
Family members say Mary and her adult brother were sitting around a fire pit in her backyard when a bullet pierced through the fence, striking them both.
She was just there sitting, talking to her brother, having a nice conversation when it was just sudden, like...
Wow.
That she was hit.
Forest Hill police say the stray bullet traveled from about a block north of the house. Mary died from her injuries. Her brother survived and is in the hospital.
I can only imagine how traumatic it could be to be right next to his sister and being hurt at the same time and him not being able to do much for her.
Investigators say multiple agencies are working on the case, and they have a search warrant and recovered several firearms. Police say they're working on identifying the person responsible for shooting the gun from across the roadway.
If he put on my shoes to see what he feeling.
Mary's husband and her two children, ages 15 and 14, asked to not show their faces. The husband says he and Mary did everything together, and this year would have been their 20th wedding anniversary.
Pues simplemente a las personas que tienen pistolas que sean algo más conscientes.
He says in Spanish that anyone with a gun needs to be careful because people can die, just like his wife.
I'm still waiting to see her picture come through my phone when she's calling me.
A sudden loss Mary's family is trying to cope with, and they want people to remember her for her big smile and caring heart.
There's no book that...
Hey. Damn.
Pushing incident at a New York City subway station. This time, the victim, a 72-year-old woman, just walking down the staircase at a station in Queens. She fell.
I wonder who did this.
Pushing incident.
I would say this, man. Either a son burrito or a son. But it could, it's not necessarily the son. It could be a son burrito that did it. And in New York, I mean, it was a illegal migrant that set that woman on fire. We know it wasn't a white guy. How about that? Or Asian guy. We can rule those out.
Sons are batting 1,000 right now.
Slim to none.
Incident at a New York City subway station. This time, the victim, a 72-year-old woman, just walking down the staircase at a station in Queens. She fell hard and had bruises all over her body. The woman speaking now exclusively tonight about her fears now of riding on the subway and especially of riding at the station where she was attacked. Shantae Lyons live at the Roosevelt Avenue train station in Jackson Heights with the exclusive interview.
Yes.
Shantae.
Well, Bill, 72-year-old Amada Sanchez says she returned to this station after being assaulted on Saturday. She says she's too scared to go down in the subway after she was kicked and knocked unconscious.
I don't know who he is.
Amada Sanchez, while
What does he look
distraught,
like?
says she doesn't know him, but
I
remembers
told
his
you.
face.
I told you it could have been illegal. I did say that. Could have been illegal.
Hey, burritos do
Yeah,
it too.
that's Jose Caracas right there.
Jeez. These motherfuckers are wicked, man. How you come to another country and just start doing shit like this?
And I wonder what made them do that to, like, you know, their own kind. I don't know. It's just.
What you mean their own kind? They don't see any own kind. What are you talking about, man?
I don't know. I just thought that
they kill each other. They hang each other from overpasses, man, in their home country, man. They slaughter whole villages and shit. What are you talking about? Their own kind.
I don't know. My bad. I'm tripping.
Like, yo, they literally, when the white man showed up, they was sacrificing people by the fucking thousands and shit every day.
A man New York City police say is responsible for striking the 72-year-old Ecuadorian grandmother of Corona, Queens, from behind near the steps inside this Jackson Heights, Queens subway station.
Everything here hurts.
Sanchez says she hit her head on the ground. The whole left side of her face, back, and hips are sore. She was on her way home from the Bronx as a home attendant around 11 p.m. Saturday. She says she got off the E train at the Roosevelt Avenue 74th Street station and was transferring to the 7 train, taking the steps and then walking on the mezzanine when all of a sudden, police say this man kicked her from behind. She was released from Elmhurst Hospital on Sunday. Sanchez says she tried, but was too scared to take the subway again.
I couldn't even get to the escalators because I had a panic attack.
Other riders are weighing in.
Oh, man, that's crazy. Honestly, there are a lot of unstable people still.
Immortal words.
We spotted dozens of NYPD officers at the busy train station.
That's what you see all the time. And the police department, they just stay, neutral. It's not like they're stopping and preventing it. They post-reactive.
As for
So hold on, Mr. White man. You saying they should like roust fucking sons and burritos on the bus, on the train? Is that what you saying? What does he mean by not being proactive? Because the only people doing this shit are sons, burritos, and hombritos. So if the police were to do their job intelligently and efficiently, they would focus on those three groups of men. Is that what you're saying they should do? And
that's
we can,
racist.
yeah, and he's a white guy in New York, so like he's a liberal, like that. Like, so could we count on you not to protest and shit? And the disparity when it comes out that disproportionately New York police are engaging with blacks and browns disproportionately on the subway car. Can we count on you to sit this one out?
Hey, if Rashad Richey did a video on him, he'll be willing to cut off a testicle to prove how racist he is not.
I'm telling you, Rashad Richey would cut that up to make him look racist.
See all the time, and the police department, they just stay, neutral. It's not like they're stopping and preventing it. They post-reactive.
Also here tonight, a New Jersey family living in fear after a terrifying home invasion. As Naveen Dhaliwal reports, the 3 suspects were likely looking for keys to high-end cars.
A home invasion captured on a doorbell camera early Sunday morning shows the terrifying moments as 3 suspects barge into an Edison home.
Very difficult for me to watch and to relive. My stomach turns every time. They came in with no fear.
This woman, too frightened to show her face on camera, says she woke up as her fiance was confronting the men who had made it inside. At 4 months pregnant, she grabbed her 10-month-old son and hid in a bathroom.
I'm just hearing a lot of commotion downstairs, the dog barking, my fiance screaming, the men screaming.
Police say the confrontation spooked the suspects and they took off, leaving the homeowner unharmed. Now, Edison police say on that same morning, the 3 suspects suspects also tried to burglarize a home in Woodbridge and another in Metuchen, hoping to break in and take the keys to luxury cars parked in driveways. Police are suggesting you keep your car keys in a secure place in your home, saying they should not be near your front or back doors, and you should not leave them on your kitchen counters.
Hopefully now families can see this and keep their loved ones safe, arm your homes, make sure that the alarms are on.
A new reality for this young.
Make sure your tank is on E, man, until you leave in the morning. Get gas like after you leave on your way to work.
Notice how she said, arm your homes. What does that mean?
Well, it's New York, so it's probably saying that, you can probably have a gun in the house, maybe in some.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Jersey.
You can't arm yourself because you can't take it outside. So
yeah, it's New Jersey, so yeah, it's not. You can have a gun in the house, man. Or arm your have a alarm system, I guess. Because I didn't hear alarm go off.
In New Jersey, I heard that if you have home invaders and you shoot, you can still be prosecuted. They say that you have to make an attempt to escape your own home.
Yep, definitely, man. Shooting somebody with a when you have a license in those places where you have to where there's a license, you better off just giving the motherfucker the shit. It's better off just having the gun as a deterrent. Because if you fire that gun, you are going to be in a lot of trouble. It's going to cost you a shit ton of money and a lot of time to get past whatever that incident was. And that's if you don't kill somebody. That's if you just wound somebody. If you kill somebody, you might go to jail.
Yeah, that makes I'm telling you, it's making a lot of sense why there are so many hateful black women and so many homosexuals on the Democratic side, because they will carry out these plans to completely ruin the taxpayer.
Well, his family says they are stunned and grieving. They want to know what happened that led to Lamarck being shot and killed by police.
Lamarck was a good guy. He didn't deserve this.
Jennifer Geddes is cherishing her memories with Lamarck Jaramillo. She says she last saw him just days before he was shot and killed by a Boston police officer at the Chick-fil-A near Copley Square. She now wants answers.
For somebody to be shot down so many times, it's senseless.
Jennifer says they were dating for a decade. She calls him loving and close to her 2 children.
My kids loved him. I had to break the news to them, and it's hard.
She admits Lamarck had some problems. 5 investigates found court records from Boston, Quincy,
But it was
and Hull,
senseless.
charging him with crimes ranging from vandalism, tagging, trespassing, and defacing property, to robbing a young woman who was walking home from the Forest Hills MBTA station with a switchblade.
Forest Hills is a fucked up place, man, wherever it is.
Women love these types, though.
Yeah, I mean, brought her around the children. She brought this nigga, this goddamn fucking, I don't know what this Italian fucking whatever the fuck he is around her kids. It's fucking trashy piece of shit. I don't know what he is.
MBTA station with a switchblade knife in 2010. He was in high school at the time. Jennifer had also taken a restraining order out against him in 2018 after he was charged.
So she took a restraining order out against him.
Senseless.
Wow.
Restraining order out against him in 2018 after he was charged with assaulting her, telling police he had vandalized her property and pulled out a knife.
People make mistakes. We would.
Yeah, but that night he was chasing 2 people. He chased 2 people into the Chick-fil-A with a knife. They run into the Chick-fil-A screaming bloody murder. He comes in trying to stab him, and an off-duty cop who's in there smoked his ass. If you want to call that a mistake, that's not a fucking mistake, you whore bag.
She's definitely a
telling
whore bag.
police he had vandalized her property and pulled out a knife.
People make mistakes. You know, we were together a long time. It's not always perfect. It's not always good.
Lamarck's family declined to comment on camera. One relative I spoke with said they are grieving and devastated by what happened, adding, "Our hearts go out to the police officer
They're unburdened by what has been.
and his family. They all want more information."
I just feel like he deserves justice, and his family deserves answers. I deserve answers.
Now, these investigations often take months. They involve reviewing all of the video evidence, interviewing anyone with knowledge of the incident, and in the end, there will be a public report, and it will be saying either the shooting was justified or not. Live in the newsroom, Karen Anderson, 5 Investigates.
All right, guys, man. Great show, man. Any final thoughts, man?
It's also senseless.
Hey, salute to you, Rock. Salute to you. Hey,
Yeah, thank you,
listen,
man.
Thanks, Doc.
Salute to the nation, man. Same black time, same black channel. Out of here. Peace out.